Shit. Okay, well, this is going to be a double post. I need to put more work into the Big Wood Vlogs channel. It's just not doing anything, and I'm too depressed to do a personal vlog channel. While it's one of the most important things, I should fucking do that, because my life is crazy. So I'll be putting this on the Colt 45 Caliber channel, and then over on Big Wood Vlogs. And everyone here, there's links in the description. It's an upstart. I've had successful personal vlog channels in the past, like 3 viral ones. It's not my main thing was the service dog civil rights issue. That's just money. I'm trying to fucking make a business and do more stuff. So, and diversification is important. That's why I want the video game channel and the personal vlog. They have nothing to do with each other. The video game channel might have had, you know, wouldn't have been appropriate to have bongs and bitches. Like I like to joke about the personal vlog. So, whatever. Anyway, in my personal life, I just got fucked off by myself. I lost my headphones, and I don't know what I cannot fucking, I'm hungry as fuck, I'm scatterbrained. I left the headphones at the gym, and but only like for 10 minutes, and I ran back. When I tried to put the radio on, I realized I ran back like, where are they? I can't fucking find them. So the Sony earphones are gone, and get this. Some poor dude I was sitting next to on the bus stop or something was like, oh, those look nice. Can I listen to your headphones? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, these are nice. Someone just complimented the quality of my headphones. Literally like 3 days ago. Like, just, So now, I was just saying, we're like $45 on sale too. A decent Sony. I got tired of fucking dealing with bullshit headphones. Although they did fall off left and right. It was a problem. They wouldn't stay on my head at all. I was thinking of ways to tie it up. So, you know, I'm always poor, but when you walk to music, which I really don't even do anymore, I almost always listen to educational stuff, but one way or the other, keeping your mind occupied makes walking distance and shit easier, and if you have music, keeping a beat can make you walk faster and really impact your productivity. And when I'm out in the street, like when I'm flying my sign, I can hear shit with the earphones over the traffic, and so I can still be learning, still taking in information, still trying to, you know, improve myself. It's a major hit. The speakerphone, when you're outside walking around, you can't hear a speaker on your phone. Well, you have to like hold it up to the side of your head like you're on the phone, which isn't a good look. People don't like you having headphones, but those people are so petty and bitchy that they were only going to give you pocket change anyway. They were like, you're not poor enough because you got headphones. I'm not going to give you 50 cents. Like, fuck you. I'd pay more than 50 cents to sit here and have music or the radio for all time. I remember back east, this dude's mom tripped on me when I was real poor and homeless for buying, not wireless, but wired, like $10 headphones for my little, and one of the cell phones, pre-smartphone, this is a little MP3 player I had, and I'd worn out the headphones, like the cord frayed to pieces. So, she was bitching, like, how the fuck can you be that poor and like literally homeless and stuff and buy a pair of headphones? Like, necessary isn't the right word, but it's close to it. Like, it's hard for me to motivate and fucking survive and just not snap and start killing crying babies around me for annoying me with their wailing. Like, it's everything to keep me calm. While I'm saying that, what the fuck am I doing? This literally just happened, so I'm still tripping. For me, $40, dude. $40 is 2 days of life for me. Everything I spend. Everything. Oh, I'm not really drinking beer right now. I don't want to fucking brag because I'm a fat ass. But I've just kind of stopped that. And while it's good for health, it also reduces my recreation to essentially nothing. Okay, well, there's this part 2 to this vlog. I'm at this gas station where the dude tripped on me. There's the Spanish dude. I checked the microwave to see if it was plugged up because the screen didn't look like it was on. It was dark. It was a funny old screen, and he freaked the fuck out of me because I went around to the back of the counter to look at the microwave plug and was threatening me and shit. All I was doing was heating up cheeseburgers that had already been paid for. And then later, of course, when I was asking for change, the white bitch tripped on me and went and got that same dude. The dude came out and fucked with me and told me on camera, I'm going to punch out and come fight you right now. Wait for me. Okay. So I went right there. Stood there for 15 minutes. A dude was at the gas pump and saw the whole thing. Talked to him the whole time. I'm like, yeah, where's this nigga at? He said, oh, I'll talk. And I've been up here since then a couple of times. And the fat white bitch I saw again, and she tripped out. And the dude I saw again, he tripped out. And then other times, there's a dude up here, and I talked to him, and he was real cool, and he was nice to me. The Spanish dude was tripping on me being poor and homeless. Yeah, he's right. Like, it's very astute observation there, fucking Sherlock. The other dude, the big dude too, was a tall, big dude like me, white dude. He was cool, and then little skinny bitch in here, she cool too. The dark hair one, which is weird because the fat one's mean, the skinny one's nice. It should be reversed. My mother taught me that. The skinny ones are full of hate and rage because they're hungry. And then I stopped back another time, and there was another girl, and she had seen me come in to like try to talk to the manager, and I'd explained what had happened to her, and she took my side, and she was really nice to me, and the other girl working with her was really nice to me. So in the long run, all of them were nice to me except for the two, the manager, the Latino manager, and the girl, the fat blonde bitch that was like, hey, fuck you, and gaslighting me. Like, she told me to leave, and I agreed. I wasn't arguing. I'm like, yeah, it's probably whatever. And start my electric stuff out like that. Actually, this is the same outlet and everything. Different setup, but like this. So I immediately unplug it and start wrapping up the cords and putting the shit in the box. It's clear I'm doing what she asked. You know, I'm not crowding anyone. I'm not fucking holding anyone up. I'm doing as you asked, and I didn't argue with you. But then she comes back out in 30 seconds post. I'm like, hurry up, get out of here, leave. I'm gonna go. I'm like, bitch, you're tripping. No one was arguing with you. What the fuck? And then it was all horrible. But her coworkers have decided they like me, and it's cool, and they said I'm fine, and gave me info like when the other people work. It turns out they tend to work early. Like they said, like by 2 p.m. they get off in their usual shift. Honey, that's barely affects me. I'm almost never. So it may not have as big of an impact as I thought. And it makes a difference to a poor man to just tell him, hey, go somewhere else. Fucker, I'm on foot, and I'm carrying heavy weight. Like, just to go to the other end of the block, well, there's a chance I gotta walk to the end of the block, turn around, and come back. And this is just in my area. I pass it. It's the corner store. Oh, gas went way down. 50 cents in a few days. Gas used to be 50 cents. Its price fluctuated 10% in a week. Gas is as volatile as crypto now. So, it's cool that I know that some people it's cool if I'm here. And including, I can talk to people and ask them for money. Oh, and they hooked me up with cash, too. They gave me stuff. Like, they really hooked me up. They were nice to me. And the dude told me about the Latino dude that was tripping on me, the one that said he'd clock out and come fight me. He's married, but he's having an affair with one of his coworkers, and they banging shit here. So I got that to lord over his head. So if I see him again, I can easily gaslight him. And I'm kind of weird when it comes to affair stuff. I'm against marriage and entrenched monogamy, but I'm against screwing people over and fucking shit up. So unless your wife knows and it's all cool and it's not going to rip families apart, then you're fucking up everyone's life and the kids, extended family, your parents, her parents. Like, don't be a home wrecker. Since I was 18 and the first girl ripped my heart out, I was like, I'm not going to let that happen again. And I never did. I decided that it was better to not have shit set in stone. So you can't break a rule that's not there. In marriage, you don't want complete openness, but this system of, okay, you're 18 years old and the one bitch you've never touched and you don't even know how to touch a woman, that's all you get for life. That don't work. That doesn't work out. I got a long series of lectures on how to handle society with that. Basically, it's a conversion to matrilineal society. As much as I hate women, in my perfect world, they would have all the power. Just by numbers. Because I do selective breeding and have twice as many women as there are men. I'm also an elitist. I'll say like only the top 10% of people, according to test scores, can vote. I'm not for full democracy. I don't think everyone's voice should be equal. Some people are stupid, some people are wicked. My mother was both. You know, and ignorant too. There's two different things. Stupidity is one thing, ignorance is another. And being mean, being evil, that's another. So there's three bad things that should disqualify you from voting. But no matter how you split it, if there are twice as many women that there are men, even if you cut only the cream, only the top 10%, and we devise new testing, by the way, we don't just use our crappy public education system now. We have all types of tests. But as an example, the type of shit I'm talking about, like your SAT or ACT scores. Simple. And I know those are horrible and they need to be improved, but with a global focus on science and logic and reasoning and understanding, that can be done pretty fucking easily. And it doesn't have to be precision exact. Fuck, should I throw the voting thing in there too? I'll figure it out. Nah, I'll do a different vlog. Yes, no matter how you cut it, there's chances are, even if you only take the top 10% smartest people, if there's twice as many women than there are men, there's going to be way more women in that top 10% than men. So of the voting group, the women will control fucking everything. Absolutely everything. But patrilineal societies are only good for one thing: violence, blowing shit up. Now that we've reached the stage where we can annihilate entire worlds, we no longer need to focus on that. Technology is how wars will be fought in the future. Smart people can just come up with bigger, better bombs. We don't need armies of grunts, Gunthers. We don't need the fucking rabble. They're dangerous. There's a whole lot that goes with what I'm saying too, like endless reams of... Yeah, I pay money to go to school. And I'm a senior in school too, by the way. The boys like to bitch at me. Oh, I didn't fucking graduate, whatever. Simple. I ran out of money. And I realized what I was doing was not going to get me anywhere in life. Like, I'm not going to be a lawyer like I originally thought I was going to be. Too crazy. Remember that I didn't acknowledge mental illness when I first started school. I was taught by my parents. My father taught me there was no such thing as mental illness in any form. And other, like his fellow soldiers, they ended up with service dogs and shit, PTSD and all that, he calls them cowards and weaklings. Now, of course, the doctors say he has PTSD. He denies it, but the official medical opinion is PTSD. The combat veteran that tells horror stories about killing children, 2 children, at bedtime. Well, a senior, you throw words around, but let me put it like this. On the classes, my major, political science, I had done every class you needed except for 2. International Political Economy, 416, I believe was the number. Senior level international economics class. I know a lot about that shit. I've been paying attention to that for years. And then my thesis. There's a whole class. There's a class you take me write your thesis. The perfect world that designed a new world order. To make a funny term, I wouldn't really call it that. That's the thesis. Like, my collective musings on the way life works. And I did pretty good when I showed up to fucking school. But I was desperately poor, homeless, a lot of it. This is the time periods I was talking about where my student loan was late, and then different time where the landlord jacked my rent. Like I paid the rent, and they said that someone that worked for him cashed my money orders and fled the country. They robbed them and left. But I got the receipts for the money orders, and I paid you. I don't know this bitch. She's your employee. That was horrific. I did well in the classes, though. Like, at Eastern Kentucky University, my first year of school, I took honors biology in college. Aced it. Not a little aced it. Stomped on it. The final exam, I missed a question. That's the end of that. The exam says I missed 2 questions, but I pointed out to the professor he had worded the question wrong, and I was right. And I remember the exact question. He was asking about what was missing to make alcohol from something, and the answer was that he wanted was yeast. But he specifically talked about grapes and making wine. You don't add yeast to grapes to make wine. It has it on it. That's how we discovered fermentation and shit. It's a story about booze. You're going to ask a college freshman a question about booze and then expect him not to have the exact right answer? And I got real pissed because the professor wouldn't. He admitted, you're right. I answered sugar instead because you gotta, and I was kind of trepidatious about the question too. I mean, like, the sugar is what the fucking yeast is going to eat to poop out the ethanol, so you gotta start with that chicken and egg situation, I guess. But he meant to say, the question was wanting you to say, add yeast to the grapes to make wine, which you don't do. But he admitted I was right. And other than one single other question, which I don't remember, unfortunately, but that's it. That's all I missed. It was very easy for me. And I did take honors biology in high school too, and I did know a lot. I was a good student. In high school and up until college, I did my homework. I did I read everything. That's the class, the honors bio class I was talking about, where I learned about GMO too. I actually had a classroom lecture and then talked back and communicated. I had a visceral reaction when I learned about the GMO opposition and what their arguments were. I yelled at the top of my lungs in class, "That's it!" In a class of fucking people in a university setting, when I learned how stupid the GMO arguments are. The health GMO arguments. Again, there's a whole separate argument with genetically modified organisms talking about capitalism and corporate greed, where they license and copyright shit, and there's arguments to be made there about people controlling shit. But GMOs being bad for you is stupid. It's stupid as alkaline water. I saw a really funny meme the other day about one of the fucking Gwyneth Paltrow bitches that put lemon juice in alkaline water. Lemon juice is acidic. And I did really well in the classes I went to. And I did almost all of them. I missed those 2 classes, my thesis class, International Political Economy, and then only gen ed stuff. Like, anything you want. I don't think there were any, no, hold on, there was 2 specific. The art, in art class, I took it and I fucking dropped out. I took one and failed because I didn't show up. It was in the summer. early in the morning, and it was a long story, whatever. I didn't fail because I put bad marks on the test. I didn't show the fuck up because I was drunk, high, or with a hooker. Like, some weird times for me. Okay, bad times. And Spanish, or a foreign language. I dropped out, and that was another. I just walked out of Spanish. They were asking me to write about my family, and I was having other issues in life too, and it was too much for me. I literally walked out of the class, not the end of class, in the middle of the class, because they're like, "You need to write about your family here." I'm like, "I can't deal with that today," and just left and never went back. Freshman year, I took a digital photography class. Only Mac experience I've ever had. The professor was a Mormon, and he told us in the first paragraph, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'm a Mormon." He called my last piece pornographic. I put bitches in swimming suits on sports cars for a photo edit piece. Well, there was a point I was going to say about the digital photography. Oh, the family thing, yeah. He wanted me to take a picture of my family and do Photoshop stuff to it. And I tried to just take a picture of me, and he wouldn't accept it. And I just took the fail grade on that. I passed the whole class, barely, because the final thing, the pornographic thing, but I didn't want to deal with that. And it takes a lot of people to keep me down, you know? I've had horrible teachers. I've been kidnapped by the church. I had tons of bullies all through school and at church. My parents were horrible bullies. The neighborhood where I grew up, people were asses to me. The neighbors were all fucking mean to me and treated me like shit. And the people around there made fun of me real bad. I told you before, I mentioned, I think, the bitch that asked me to keep it down when I'm being beat. When my screaming was disturbing their dinner. It's not a joke. And if you saw the distance, like what I'm talking about, like from here, I was over there, you would kind of understand. Well, I mean, you're all so stupid. My stalkers are so stupid that I remember trying to buy a pound of weed in college, and I got robbed, and I had a shotgun put to my brainstem. My parents were forcibly claiming me as a tax deduction or dependent, and I didn't get that would disqualify you, and I wasn't even aware of at that point things like food stamps. I was getting no financial assistance from anywhere, and I was going to school and I'm borrowing money for it, and I was like, dude, I have to get an income. Like, yeah, I got this little, like, here's $1,000. I think it was like $800. No, that was a different thing. No, it was $1,000. It was like $1,200 for a pound of weed. I was just gonna sell it because everyone smokes weed. I was like, dude, fucking everyone, everywhere I go, everyone smokes weed. If I just have weed on me, people will buy it off me. And I was right. And I did do a little weed selling back there, and it does kind of work. But then people would fuck me. Like, the pound thing is one horrible. Yeah, but there was more than that. There was one right before I came to LA. The Damien dude, his dealer fucked me off. And we were riding around in the car together. I was homeless, and I didn't have a vehicle insurance at the time. It was just before I got the van. I was carrying a big giant backpack, and the bitch fucks me. And we're all still there together. I'm like, you fucked me. What's up? Like, do I take off on you? Do I beat this girl up? And then everyone's like, no, you can't do shit. And my supposed friend, one of those frenemy people, but he was letting me live in his basement at the time. That was all I had. Would have died without her. I wasn't experienced at being homeless yet. But I bought an ounce of weed off her, I remember, and it weighed only fucking 17 grams. I had scales on me. And I'm like, dude, you took me for 11 grams? And it's medium quality. It's not Cali weed, but in East Coast it was decent weed. I'm like, you're fucking me hard. You gotta give me money back or give me the shit back. Like, she had more weed. Like, you can't fuck me just like you didn't get fucked over. And my friend of me is like, no, you can't fucking take flight on my bitch. And she had another girl with her. They're lesbians or something, but big fat bitch. And then Damien's girlfriend, well, she didn't like me at all anyway. And her girlfriend's friend and her boyfriend, like, all of them ganged up on me. Like, you can't do shit. Like, this bitch is fucking, we had an agreement. This price for an ounce. You shorted me bad. What the fuck? But the whole community was like, no, you get fucked because you're some retarded bitch and fuck you. I'm homeless, and well, I was living in a dude's basement, but if you saw what I'm talking about, it's not a finished basement. There's a washing machine down there and a bench of wood, like it's still like plywood with a 2x4 prop. And that's it. It's concrete walls, some of it's dirt, one light bulb, and a power outlet. I had a PSP for a minute. The same dude, my landlord, he backed in right after I got my van. Right the time I got my van, he backed into it, did in the bumper. He let me borrow his PSP for a week. So I sat down in the basement and had a little PSP. It was cool. There's an ATV game on there, and a shooting game and shit. And he got mad at me for leaving it there. I'm like, dude, I was real careful with it. I fucking like laid on the ground when I played it, and I literally like stayed in your basement. Like I didn't take it with me. And there's a padlock that goes. I could go at storm cellar doors. But when you go out, you put a block on it. And I, as a combo lock, I had the combo. But you couldn't one open to the public. That was exciting. I've been pretty hardcore homeless for a while at that point. That was before smartphones and shit. Now we got games, music, television, movies, ever we want. I spent a long time fighting for light. If you'll notice, in modern times, I complain about my stalker. And I complain about discrimination. Places like gyms, buses, grocery store, places kicking me out that are necessary for me to function in life. But I don't complain about the quality of my life at all. Just people bothering me. I'm fine, really. Like, I can survive. Okay, it's not a big deal. I don't really care about being homeless. But people being mean to me and then people denying me shit like the place where I shower and buy food and my transportation, riding the bus, that all crushed me. If my rights had been respected, my first service dog, I would have built a little life for myself. I was still doing day labor more and being more active. I was in pretty good shape. I was remember the prime of my life. I would have stayed in my office. I would have never done a little bit of socializing that I did. That's where I met Joey. He's watching now. I got another dude from the past who I'm trepidatious about. Like, he's never hardcore fucked me, but almost. And he has a bad habit of bringing people Like he meets people that are crazy fuck-ups and that I can't handle. Yeah, he went to prison for beating someone up, assault with a deadly. He did 5 years and just got out and contacted me. I made the cold decision of, but then he bumps into me on the street. He might join the stalkers. If he's listening, hey Joey, don't. I never fucked you. I'm always honest. I don't fuck people over. And you know I've got it hard enough. You see, this is the dude. When I got hit by the car and I needed help, they moved in with me as like a caretaker to just like to wash the dishes or shit. I couldn't do anything. It was a bad move on my part, a really bad move. But I was scared. Going from the prime of your life to cripple, abrupt transition. He parties too much for me. I don't party as much as they do. I'm a fuddy-duddy. I gotta get some of this weight off me. My knees are fucking crumbling. Thinking about that a lot lately. Since the accident, I gained a huge amount of weight. But if I lost, just assume I was exactly like I was right before the accident right now. At the prime, I puffed up a little bit after I got out of jail and shit. But I was seriously only like 215 pounds. It was under the 220. The goal was during all the epic weight loss and working out and Origin and all that shit back in the day in the East Coast. When I was starving and shit. I'd work out as much as the food I could get allowed me. I would burn my body out. But 220 was the military maximum weight. And I was thinking about that as a back burner. Like, man, maybe I could do some crazy join the military to get rid of my student loans. Dang it. Man. But also it's recommended, like, with your height, like how much you're allowed to weigh. Like, you're supposed to be under this. So, and I did it. I was in the prime of my life. And I actually got so emotionally frustrated with people that I gave up. I was getting the hot teenage bitches that y'all love to hate on me for. But fuck you incels. You're just jealous because hard to brag, but I've had some fun for you. You'd be surprised. But they emotionally fucked with me so badly that I actually gave up. I stopped socializing, which means both dating and regular. Like, I don't hang out with people. Like, I don't play video games with dudes or go to the bar with someone or nothing. Nothing. Back in 2011, I cut everything. For a while, I talked to this one girl, Melissa, like grandfathered in. She's the one that had the little dog. She's the one I was talking to about getting it up, the origins of the service dog stuff. Her dog and me had a thing, and he was cool. Like, one time I split my head open beating myself, and he was licking on me, and it really cheered me up. He was a cool little dog. But I had conversations with her with Facebook Messenger, like something recorded. It could be retrieved, although I've lost that Facebook now thanks to the stalker. We had long conversations. First of all, before I got the dog, me beating on myself was a problem for years. Then her dog and me talking about the dog being therapeutic for me and helping me. And then me starting to talk about looking for a dog. And then me finally getting the dog. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is going to help so much. And like, it's all written out there. It's you can't object to when you just read out the evidence there. You see it's impossible to make your argument that my dog's a fake service dog. You can't fucking say that. For any newcomers here, I guess I should do that more. Back in the day, I used to say the law all the time, but in America, there's no service dog papers, no such thing. You can't have papers for a service dog. However, people ask all the time, and people buy fake papers to show them, but that's fraud. It can get you in trouble. It's also a violation of the Penal Code, California Penal Code 365.7. And California law says that a service dog in training has public access. So if you are working with a dog to train it to be yours, the American Disabilities Act that makes service dogs the American law, federal level, specifically says owners are allowed to self-train, and no agency can give certification. No, they don't allow anyone to audit. It's not, you can't give someone a document saying that you've trained a dog as a service dog. You can't do that. You cannot do that in America. So the only acknowledged training is self-training. But who trains is irrelevant. That the dog is trained or is being trained is the only relevant points. You can't look at the conversation as I had the conversation, so I know it's there, and not see that I got the dog to help with my mental issues, and I had a very specific problem that I needed to alleviate. I beat on myself too much. Now, later, with years of experience, I have learned that people don't need to know all this shit. And I should have said PTSD, because I got that too. Sure, I'm jumpy as fuck. Anyone knows people bully me by poking me and shit. I got some serious PTSD issues. And that would have made my life a lot easier, because talking to the cops and business owners and random people about my main problem is not beneficial, not helpful to me. But I was looking at it a different way back then. I was looking at my life and what I needed help with. And that's what I was focused on. But I sincerely regret telling everyone. I had to have Richard Kyle Megan's Law, pedophile, founder and leader of the Troll Brigade Mafia, the domestic terror organization, has been bullying me for 7 years. Send me text messages in the middle of the night telling me to beat myself because he knows there's a chance I'll do it and he'll fuck with me. The reason we have these laws about service dogs and the papers and stuff is to protect people. It's not a good idea to talk with strangers about your personal mental health issues. It's also inconvenient, and it can cause further mental health issues. Remember, if someone says they have a service dog, any conversation you have with them from a negative point, from trying to question or judge them, they have problems, and you're asking about their problems. So whatever it is not going to be good. And they may not feel like talking to you about who they don't leave them alone. Changed my life, though. I really cared about my dogs. I took good care of them, fought for them, continue fighting for them. that girl calling me last year had a real emotional impact too. The girl from middle school and shit that I grew up with, that hurt me. I got over it pretty quick, which was cool, good to know. But it hurt so much. What she did was so cruel that she's part of the reason I hate women and gave up on women. She is part of the reason, but that was from 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Not what she did last year, but what she did last year was also cruel, and I'm having a hard time coping with it. She contacted me out of the blue, texted me a bit back and forth. Our text almost entirely was about, oh, you accidentally messaged my stalkers thinking it was me. Whoops. And then she said she'd give me a phone call and talk to me, and didn't. And I unfortunately went to jail. I used my one phone call to call the number she had given me, and I told her, hey, write me or whatever. Didn't. Got out and was absolutely silent. Never said anything else. Maybe 6 months later, I sent another message to her, a text or email, I don't even remember. I told her unsubscribe from my channel because I'm sick of looking at your face whenever I look at my accounts, my business panel analytics and shit. Her face was right in the middle of it. The very next day, they disappeared from all my channels. But that's it. I never heard a word. It would have meant a lot to me to talk to someone about my past. She was always a little bitchy. She had an attitude problem. Of course, I'm saying this, I'm talking about a 12-year-old active prostitute. But that hurt. That, when the logic came, when I figured out that I'm so repulsive, a bitch that will suck her own daddy's dick for a 6-pack of wine coolers. Not only wouldn't touch me, well, that's we touched, but not wouldn't suck my dick for sure. That's the one where I apologized the day after I felt her up the first time. But my parents were fucking rich. We had all the booze you could want. We had a fucking wet bar. My mother actually did tend to drink cheap shit. I learned that later too, stealing her liquor. But we had a bar, like a literal older rundown, but there's vermouth and vodka and gin and whiskey in there, everything. Some wine. Oh, and my mother had a stash of gallons of vodka and gallons of wine. Always. That's how I could just steal it. There was so much. I thought I wasn't a man for a while because my mother had the romance novels, you know what I mean? Like the cowboy, tough burly man, and she was talking about taking a shot, put a hair on your chest, and I poured myself a shot. This vodka, but I didn't realize it popped off. I almost died. I'm like fucking 10 years old. Holy shit, I'm a pussy. Nah, I've been my mother just a cheap drunk. I theorized that she bought cheap shit and kept cheap booze around to keep her from drinking more of it. She wasn't really an alcoholic like that, but she did like have a drink at night and watch Bill O'Reilly and go to bed. Like she had to have something to knock her out. That cunt had fucking issues. One of these days, the bullies are going to go too far and people are going to pay a terrible price. People like my mother, they enjoy watching other people suffer. It gives them pleasure. It makes me sick. People who are like that, people that enjoy hurting other people, like you, Jack Manny. I want them removed from the gene pool. I don't care if they're bullying me. Any bully. Anyone that likes hurting other people for their entertainment. The mean monkeys, I gotta go. I don't understand how it could be like that either. By the way, Jack Manny fucking messaging me saying, I'm not using flattering angles and I need to get a tripod and stuff. One, I used to have a tripod, it got jacked. Two, I'm sandbagging like a motherfucker. So well aware I would look a lot better with a better camera angle and camera and lighting and shit. But that will allow me to make dramatic improvement to the quality of my shit whenever I've got room to grow, so to speak. Although I do want the tripod. I had a cool one. If you haven't check it out, hit the GoFundMe or PayPal or Patreon. That makes a good point. Like Jack Manny has spent hours and hours and hours and hours bullying me. Even at minimum wage, he could have earned enough money to just send me a fucking tripod in that time. But no, he's got to still talk shit. And you all want to bitch at me for trespassing? Like, I got arrested recently for trespassing, trying to take shit at the gas station. They don't want me, because I'll look poor, I'm too ugly or whatever. They don't want me, and the clerk says, we don't want you in our business, you can't be here. Actually, she didn't say I was a customer, but whatever, the point is, you are unsightly, and we don't want you here to scare away our other customers. Don't be here, we don't like you, okay? But these stalkers, they come on my videos, which is like my business, and they get in the comments of those videos, and then they be themselves, and I've told them to get out, and they won't get out. So I blocked them, forced them out. So they made a new account to circumvent the blocking. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And they keep ending up in my lobby. People come to, YouTube as a whole is public. But you didn't make my videos. They're my property. And if I've banned you, and you're all banned, any bully who bullies anyone is banned forever. Cops would gaslight me with that the other day. You're trespassing. People came here for my videos, which are about my service dog rights project and my personal vlog video game about a couple of other shit I got going on. That's why these people are here. Okay? They don't want to hear about possum fucking. You're yelling about stupid shit in my lobby. You're banned. Why isn't that trespassing? You're not standing in the village square. You're in my store. You're I created a website, a video, a specific, the video is like a destination, a place. It's It's an idea. It's like intellectual property. That is intellectual property. I own that video, and I administrate the comment section. There's been talk of people being held accountable for not moderating their stuff, and especially with scammers. Scammers are a big problem. And yes, I blocked them. Fucking flag. Yeah, I fucking hate spam. I hate the scam motherfuckers. I hate that shit. Elon Musk just bought Twitter. Maybe he'll fucking do something about it. But like, there was a time that actually happened. I made a video about a skate park. Some young kid, like 14-year-old boy, is like, "Hey, this is cool, blah blah blah." Nice place too. It's fucking in Orange County, the Van skate park in a mall. For a country boy, that's getting impressive. And Richard harassed him, said he was a faggot, he was sucking my dick and shit. Okay, a minor just got sexually harassed by a repeat offender child molester in the lobby of my business. Now, of course, when someone tried to do something, I did everything I could do. I reported it to police. I told him to involve his parents. I told him to document everything. I still, to this day, have fucking copies of all those emails. I did everything in my fucking power. But that kid got harassed by Richard because he came to my video and attacked him. Okay, there's been discussions, and not here in America, but in other countries, of the maker of the video being held liable for that. So basically, there's a chance that the way the law is interpreted, or what we might do in the future, that I could be held criminally responsible for my bullies fucking with people here on my project. Oh yeah, and it's a nightmare to me, and it drives away people. Me and the kid had a long discussion, and I was begging him to involve his parents and shit, but he said he was too scared, and he would support me and fucking leave thumbs up and interact with me, but he was scared of Richard, and that's the end of it. That's happened a lot. And there was one in that same time period, like 2015. There was a time where there was a way with the blocking and shit, where if he was talking to a person and that person was talking to me, his message would still come through to me. So there was a girl I told, she was like, "Who's this dude messaging me?" I'm like, "It's this dude, just block him." She's like, "I don't know, I never blocked him, I don't know how to do it." I'm like, no, you gotta block him. He's sending message. I'm talking minutes apart. I'm talking fucking every 2 minutes, fucking pedophile message about sex stuff every 2 minutes. And eventually I gave her an ultimate, I gave her two layers. I said, "Okay, you've got to block this dude. I'm going to check my messages tonight. If you don't block him, he's still getting through. I'm going to block you." The person that did nothing but support me. Service dog rights, she was something to do with that. Looked at my video, she knew about the ADA, she was interested in that. Normal business for me. But Richard was using her as a gateway to get message about perverted sex stuff to me over and over. And then when he saw he did it a bunch, like with a couple of messages an hour for a while. But when he saw me put that specific post about if you don't block him tomorrow, I'm going to ban you, to make sure his messages stop, Richard went into overdrive. And fucking she died every 2 minutes, like ding, 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 pedophile attack, pedophile attack, pedophile attack, pedophile attack, pedophile. And after a little bit, I sent her another message. I'm like, "Correction, you've got 10 minutes. Block him or I ban you." I'm not even sure I gave her the whole 10 minutes. I waited a little bit, but battery warning, sitting next to the outlet. Could have been plugged up if I was. Dumb move. It's not even late though. glasses. I keep saying that, but it's a serious issue. Like, I'm not. Oh, I had a dream last night where someone was talking about my. That's what it was. Someone mentioned someone stopped to pray for me the other day, and he was talking about my Patreon. And then I had a dream something about talking to the dude. Yeah, we'll make that the closing here. We're coming up on an hour. Any help is appreciated. I'd love anyone to try to help me. Words of encouragement, share, like, subscribe, all that. Also, there's PayPal and GoFundMe. But remember, there's, like, if you use GoFundMe instead of direct with PayPal, there's a bigger fee. GoFundMe is more to circulate the campaign to new people. And I don't work on it at all because of the stalkers. I could really use the fucking help. $1 a month is nothing to you, but it means a lot to me. I got 2 patrons so far. You know, I really appreciate their help, and you know, it means something that to know 2 different people out there supportive of me. That's cool in and of itself. And it adds up. I make it work too. I'm efficient as fuck. Like these, for instance, I heat outside of these tubes and melt all the concentrate down. Pretty sure I'm not gonna do any health stuff with that, kinda. But I'm getting fucking 3 and 4 days out of $25 cartridge. And I was paying less than that dabbing, but they fucking stole my rig, man. See, when I'm all mellow like this, you can be like, oh, you're just a fucking stoner or whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. Your shit ain't medical. But if you ever see me in a rage, I'm not recording when I'm in a rage. I'm not, you know, things get, when the camera goes off, you know, you don't see me at my worst. Fuck, I'm fresh showered. I was just looking at my hair. I need to brush it out better. Yeah. The Patreon's pretty cool. $1 a month, that's what I'd encourage you. Just, you know, I've got a bunch of subscribers here, and where'd the other like 9,000 go from my big channel and shit? How they don't? I mean, they're probably just not big enough fans to fucking search for me desperately, and who knows? Maybe they find my stalkers quickly because their impersonation accounts are so big, and they just stop there, and they are quote unquote interacting with me, but I'm not getting the messages because it's not really me. I'm worrying about that more and more lately because I know there's been a bunch of people that talked to them thinking it was me, but I don't have any other way of knowing besides them pushing on, finding me, and telling me. It's one of the reasons I'm pushing so hard for a police investigation. There is nothing I can do. That's their account. My name, my face, you thought it was me, but I cannot get in. I don't know any of the information associated with the account. So yeah, please guys, I could really use the help these days. $1 ain't much to you, man, but it means something to me. I gotta get this thing on the charger too. Have a good night, everyone.